What is going on, everybody? My name is Crypto Tank. This is the IBC Game channel. Here we talk about everything that's happening within the traditional markets as well as the crypto markets, but the specific interest on what's happening within the Cosmos ecosystem. It's a little bit later in the afternoon for me to be going live, but today I'm really excited because I'm going to be talking to somebody who I think a lot of the Cosmos natives, Cosmos ecosystem participants should be made more aware of. And that is a gentleman by the name of Lee with Crypto Dungeon. But before I do, I got to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsors. If you guys don't know, we do have some fantastic and terrific channel sponsors. Excuse me, a little bit late. I've already been drinking a couple of old fashions, guys. But first and foremost, guys, let me give you guys the heads up. The first channel sponsor supporting us is Kujira Network. If you guys don't know about Kujira Network and you're in the Cosmos ecosystem, I don't know what you guys have been doing at all. If you guys don't know, you guys should definitely check out Kujira.network. It is the blockchain for real yield, a decentralized ecosystem for protocols builders, Web3 users seeking sustainable fintech. Guys, there's so much things to do on Kujira.network. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. I'm telling you, you guys can play around on their order book. You guys could borrow. You guys can lend. You guys can play. You guys can do so much things here. They got Orca, Fin, Bow, Ghost, etc. Guys, check out Kujira.network. I actually, hold up one second. I just want to, I normally don't do this, but I was looking at the charts today and it was a sea of red. It was a sea of red. And amongst the sea of red, I think there was just one. Let me be sure about this, by the way. And I'm not, I gotta give credit what credit's due. Kujira was one of the few that was pumping. I think it was up like almost over 5% today. So shout outs to Kujira team. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate you guys. The next one that I want to give a channel sponsor to, and forgive me, Cosmos Spaces, because I actually don't have the tab up, but Cosmos Spaces, they're our validator who have been supporting our efforts here for a long, long time. I don't get anything from the partnership that we have with Cosmos Spaces. They give me the NFTs and the crypto to give back to you guys during Community Game Day. So thank you guys. We really do appreciate your guys' support. If you guys need a great validator, which we're going to speak about a great validator in just a second, but if you need a great validator just for risk management sake, or maybe you don't know and you're like, hey, Crypto Tank, which one in your opinion is a good validator team to delegate to? Cosmos Spaces. What can I say? We love them. We absolutely love them. But with that being said, guys, let's bring in our guest today. It is Lee from Crypto Dungeon. Here we go. Let's bring him in here. Lee, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, Tank. Thanks for inviting me.
Right on, right on. Guys, again, Lee is with Crypto Dungeon, and we're speaking about great validators. Crypto Dungeon is a validator in the Cosmos ecosystem. I guess let's start off, Lee, if you don't mind, for the people that might not know Crypto Dungeon or yourself. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? What you like, if you don't mind, what you do professionally and how you found yourself into the crypto space?
Yeah, my name's Lee. I'm actually a psychiatrist, and I got into this with a couple friends of mine a little over a year ago. We were investing in Ethereum, and actually I got into Cosmos by watching your show, actually, and
Nice.
kind of remember being in the gym and working out and just watching those videos, and that's kind of how I got brought into it. But we started validating a little over a year ago with Stargaze and Juno, and the idea that we wanted to do this was we were watching the whole whale battle with Juno, and I was on Reddit, and we just had a lot of it was just amazing to watch the community. Like 97% of the community voted in Prop 16. It was like the greatest thing I've ever seen in terms
That was
of
an amazing time.
governance.
That was definitely, especially in hindsight, looking back to where we are right now. That was a very interesting and amazing and very active time not only just in the Juno space, but in the Cosmos ecosystem in general. So that was much different.
But we got excited by that, and then that's when we first got the idea to validate. But the idea that we always had, we wanted to make a gaming company, and my friend, he's our software engineer. He's one of my partners. He always wanted to have a video game company, and actually so did I. I started out computer science when I was in school. I took a really weird path, ended up with an MBA and degree in finance and accounting, and now I'm a
How did
psychiatrist.
that find out? Like, you're a psychiatrist, but you're in computer science before that. How did that happen?
I was kind of just trying to figure out what I was into and tried a lot of different things. And I at one point I thought it was kind of like, oh, I wasted all this time, but I'm using all that knowledge now. It's awesome. I mean,
Lee, what it sounded
it's
like, it sounded like you like punishment. You like problems. You literally like problems. A
like
computer science
pressure.
is yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of problems trying to figure it out. And then you just went into a field where you're just trying to basically help other people figure out their problems.
Yeah, and I love what I do. It's great. But I get obsessed with different things, and I like to put my energy in a lot of different things. So like I just like to stay busy, and we started this, and I'm amazed we got this far. Actually, it was just sort of, yeah, let's do this, and we got more and more serious as we've been going on, and I'm just at this point like feel like I'm got a rocket pack on. I just yeah.
So you guys first started off, you said you guys got inspired by watching what was happening in the Juno network, specifically
Mhm.
what happened with the whale situation. That's super interesting because a lot of people, I would say were very up in arms in that whole situation. Regardless of how you were viewing it, it was a very stressful time. But yet, in that stressful time, you found an opportunity. And I find that very, very interesting because not a lot of people found an opportunity within that chaos, and you guys did, and I absolutely love that. Um, with that being said, what chains do you guys currently actively validate on?
So we just joined the Cosmos active set, and we're actually sitting on the bottom, but I'm amazed we even were able to get in and hold there, and we're slowly building up and could use all the help that we can get. But we're also validating our first two chains were Stargaze and Juno.
Okay,
We do Comdex, Crescent, Desmos, and Evmos. And there's another chain that we're going to be launching, which is a friend of ours. I can't give too much information out because it's still not public,
darn it.
but it's going to be for content creators, and it's not something anyone's heard of before, but should be pretty cool.
Now I know you gave me little nuggets, little breadcrumbs to chew on,
Mhm.
to get my taste buds watering a little bit about that. And since I know, like you just said, it's not there yet, and there's probably not a lot you can give out there. I am super I'm super excited about whenever somebody tells me things like that, or like what they're developing, and like, especially when you're literally saying that might be a new blockchain within the Cosmos ecosystem. It gets me really, really excited, especially for gaming, because I'm a gaming nerd. I really do. Not a lot of people know. Today in the space, I was sharing that I'm also an anime nerd as well. Like I like all kinds of stuff, but I'm a very big gaming nerd, and I think once crypto can find a way to tap into gaming slash content creating, because obviously I'm a talking head on the space as well. Um, I think that's going to be one of the more traveled pathways to mass adoption, or at least social adoption, for the greater crypto landscape. I really do truly honestly believe, because if you just look at the social media platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all these things, like they have, it's by far, they've got amazing following, amazing users on there. And if we could just capture a fraction of that, I think that's, that obviously the smarter route to travel, like for as far as like creating something within crypto or whatnot. I know a lot of people are trying to like, revamp or reinvent DeFi and legacy things. But tech and social media is ever evolving, and I think it just kind of it just seems to go so well together that it's like the obvious thing that I think people should be working on. But anyway, so yeah, I absolutely love that, and I love that when you told me earlier on in our conversations that that's what you were working on. It got me really, really excited. So good for you guys. I'm trying to bring up, and sorry if I'm looking this way sometimes. I was trying to bring up Mint Scan and share the active list. I, to be very honest with you, cannot stand Mint Scan 2.0. I really wish they just bring back Mint Scan 1.
It's not an
Oh
improvement.
my
Yeah.
gosh. And I'm like, how? I just want to show the whole thing. And oh, wait a minute. No, there we go. Now it's doing it. Okay. Let me share my screen. Here we go. And guys, admittingly, and I'm not, I support smaller validators for many reasons, right? For decentralization sakes, for my risk management as well, and then also I just love the team. I know Crypto Dungeon, what I like to think fairly well, and the people. I think they're good guys, and so I want to support. a team that's trying to break in to the active set and support them as much as I can. So I've delegated some of my personal stake with the team to help them kind of stabilize within the active set. But you guys were actually doing pretty well. You guys were in the last spot, and then you guys jumped up a space or two, and now you're saying you're finding yourself back down there. Well, here we go.
Yeah, there was a couple guys that jumped in, and it's amazing. They put down 66,000 atoms and stake and relax 74,000.
That is
Yeah,
amazing. It's pretty. It's a feat just to get
very
into the
competitive.
active set for Adam. It's definitely that's no joke, man. But let me see here. I wish this would scroll down a little bit. There we go. Wait, why is this not coming down more? So wait, but you guys are how much further are you guys back down right now from
It's
them?
Minscan 2.0. You can't see
I
it.
know it's infuriating. But you guys aren't that far off, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
The next below us is a bit, but the threat is if someone big jumps in and
It knocks you
takes
guys
us out,
down.
and
The one thing
we're
that I really hope if I could just share a message with the greater Cosmos ecosystem. I know I posted this not too long ago, and I promise you, it's not just because Crypto Dungeon is on the stream right now, but for goodness sakes, if you guys are staking too, and I don't know why you would be if you're watching this show. I think you guys are probably a little bit more savvy. But if you guys are supporting the centralized exchanges that have Sybil attacks going on the chain, like Huobi, I posted that not too long ago. Like Huobi, and there's a couple others, not just Huobi, but they're running multiple validators on the Cosmos hub. Like, what are you doing? We need to get people like Crypto Dungeon, like heck, even Stake and Relax, Bunker Stake, the new guys that just came in. Like we need to be staking to these guys who are really working hard on maintaining themselves within the active set or like trying to establish themselves on the active set. Guys, we need to do everything we possibly can to get off these. I don't mind if Huobi stays or decentralized exchanges stay on one entity and that's it. But when I see multiples on there, like it just drives me up a wall because people like yourself and these other guys are trying, they're fighting tooth and nail just to stay on there and they deserve to be on there. So please, I guess what I'm trying to say is consider delegating to people like Crypto Dungeon and the likes. It really helps out not just them but ourselves as well. Like so I really I couldn't like wait to say that in today's stream, knowing that I was going to be speaking to you guys because I think people are so quick to just go to the top of the list and delegate to the bigger ones, and it's like because it's they know they're safe or whatnot, but like come on, guys. Anyway, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that, Lee, while I'm saying that, but I'm really passionate about that.
in terms of safe, we're in an underground data center. We're actually paying a ton of money for just our infrastructure and everything.
Mhm.
We have backup servers. We have 3 redundant backup internet connections. We have power supply backup. It's L5 tornado proof, fireproof. So we're not
Wow.
going down, and we offer full slash protection if something did happen.
So
So
you got okay. I'm gonna make a statement. You guys are a serious operation. I've talked to quite a few, and I have friends and whatnot. But like, it's rough. The cost of running validators, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, and I'm not just talking about Adam, but like throughout. I'm making a broad blanket statement. It can get very expensive, and it's unfortunately right now. Most people run it at a loss, and so to hear how much redundancies and how much that you guys are taking this seriously with your guys' infrastructure setup, like that's amazing, man.
well,
Good for you
most of the
guys.
capital is ours. So we did throw a lot in ourselves personally, and yeah, we're not going anywhere. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fighting, and it's going to
Mhm.
be stressful to stay in, but we're not going to go anywhere no matter what.
Do you mind if I ask you? And I'm just going to ask the
Mhm.
harder questions. How big is the team?
So the initial team is 3. So my friend who's a software engineer, Brad,
Mhm,
and then my friend from residency, actually, he's a child psychiatrist, Sanju as well. And then we hired a full-time professional dungeon master for our game.
mhm.
We have a digital artist that's helping us with our NFT set,
Because
and we
well,
have a moderator too. And Yeah.
I definitely want to get to the gaming part of everything in just a little bit because
Mhm.
it's like Crypto Dungeon is such a unique team in my opinion. But as far as the validator setups or validator side of things go, so your team of three, um, I'm assuming you guys are all hands on. Like, is it just one person really taking care of things, or do you like if something hit the fan, would you be able to wake up and take care of things, or like how does that look?
Well, we have 24-hour staff on in the data center. So if something happened there, they're there on site, and I have access. Brad is mainly the one running the software, but I could jump in there in an emergency. And luckily, I know a little bit about computers to figure it out. But yeah,
Nice.
we would be able to get up pretty quickly.
Nice. I've heard.
So
I'll be honest, and again, I speak to many people. There's and these are some of the people I really like as well. But like you get to talking to them about their infrastructure, like their basic setup, and it's like a one man operation. There might be like five people on the team, but really it boils down to like one person's shoulders. And I'm always like, well, what if that person gets sick, or like, what if God forbid something happens? Like, then what? Like, and like you said, you guys have a whole team on 24-hour call, which is super nice. But like you hear these things where it's like, okay, like it's really a one-man operation. So it's really nice to hear again how much you guys have taken into account the longevity mindset about what you guys are doing with your operation. Kudos to you guys, man. Did I lose you?
no, I'm
Oh,
still
okay,
here. Can
okay.
you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I lost you. Sometimes I get these when I'm multi-streaming. I get a little bit of weird delays or whatnot. Just wanted to be sure. So cool, awesome. Hopefully we'll get you guys some exposure on the Atom active set. And we can get you guys bumped up there a couple of notches. I definitely think, like you said, to be realistic, it probably will be a little bit of a push and pull over the next couple of months, especially. But hopefully, people will start seeing the stream. People start realizing the team and who you guys are and what you guys have been doing. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me a little bit about your guys' game though, because this isn't just validators. This is Crypto Dungeon is a game.
And actually, the validation is our vehicle for funding the gaming DAO. So the gaming DAO is on Juno.
Uh huh.
Our NFT launch is going to be on Stargaze. We just thought that would be the best place to launch. It's got the best
Hmm.
community for NFTs, and but yeah, so this is a different kind of game. It's not your typical Web3 game. It's not you know a grinding game where you're playing as much as you possibly can. It is scheduled. We do have a professional full-time dungeon master. This guy does it full-time for a living, and he's an amazing entertainer, storyteller. We've actually played with him a couple times now, and I found him kind of by luck, and I would say he's on the edge of becoming famous. So there's a show called Critical Role that sort of very famous, and they have a dungeon master, Matt Mercer.
Uh
He's
huh.
probably the most famous person doing this, and
I've heard of Matt
I really
Mercer
feel like
actually. That's weird. I can't place a face or anything, but I swear to you, I think I've heard that name before. It
yeah,
sounds familiar.
he's one of the best dungeon masters there is, and just just a master entertainer and storyteller. And the guy that we have is, I mean, really at that level. That's he. Sorry, my cat's jumping on me, but
Oh no, fine.
yeah, I mean, he really wanted to work with us, and it was just a perfect match. And yeah, so our game is not your typical Web3 game. So it is a live action role playing game, but it's going to have a 3D graphical interface, which is on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an integration with our Discord, and you need an NFT, basically, one of our characters to get into the game. So our NFTs are going to be basically your pass, your entrance fee to our private role playing club.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that, you have access to playing with our dungeon master in our world. And this is a unique game that basically our friend has built this over the last 10 years, and it's completely new, but no one's ever seen it before. Um, you will be playing in your group. So it's 4 to 5 people at a time usually.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a set schedule, but you are interacting with the other groups, and there will be special events where the groups will be actually collaborating on larger threats and
I'm
impacting
glad.
actually what's going on in the world itself.
I'm glad you said it because when you first originally told me about the game, I was kind of thinking because I've dabbled and admittedly I haven't really jumped into the full like D and D style of gaming. I have multiple family members. I even heck, my twin brother knows much more in regards to that style of gaming. But I was always wondering, like, if you were trying to apply, and it's just kind of going down the rabbit hole in my own mind after you telling me. I was wondering, like, is this a set group like any other
Sure.
kind of board game? But would you be able to interact with the broader like participants that are also playing maybe different games and stuff like that? So that's super. What kind of cat is that?
He's a Sphinx, actually. And by
That's
the way, the next character that we're drawing is going to be the
oh, this.
male version of the Tabaxi, which is a cat humanoid.
Uh huh.
And we're trying to do a Sphinx-like character with it. The first one was actually a Maine Coon, which is my
Uh
other cat.
the
So
the images you shared with me then makes a lot more sense.
yeah, those are all
Okay.
characters. So we're going to have 10 different races, 13 different classes. There's going to be multiple different traits. And that is the character. When you mint that character, that's your character unless you trade someone for another one. But that is the character that you're going to be playing. So people will trade probably, and there will be different rarities. And
Yeah.
actually, some of them, only several of them in the very beginning are going to have the highest rarity, and those people are going to be able to play first in our game and help sort of shape the world with the dungeon master. So the people that get to play first really get an opportunity. The game is play to earn.
Right.
So if you're getting in first, you get that first opportunity to get very powerful, and you can actually get gear to power your character up, or you can sell that on the auction house and exchange that for DAO tokens, which you can liquidate or you can stake and you can vote in our gaming DAO. And the players actually get a share of our earnings, and they get to determine the rules of the game, which the dungeon master executes.
Nice. Okay. So there's gonna be. Oh gosh, I get so hesitant sometimes on the verbiage I want to use for things, but I want to say like revenue sharing, but that's I hate using that term sometimes. But is that like kind of accurate when you say they're going to get like a share of the earnings? I guess is that what you guys are calling it? Revenue
Basically,
sharing?
when you play, you're earning gold pieces in the game, which you can exchange for our DAO token, Dungeon Coin, and that gives you ownership in the DAO itself. You can vote. You can sell those tokens. You can stake them. You can put in a liquidity pool,
Hmm.
just like any other currency. So yeah, you would have part ownership in that DAO if you're a player.
Nice. Dave asks, "Play to earn? Oh my, what chain?" Again, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Juno, right? It's built on
So the
Juno.
DAO is on Juno. Yeah, the NFTs are going to be on Stargaze, and we're actually trying to figure out kind of how we can use our presence on Juno to help the chain. Because if we get successful here, hopefully this is going to get bigger, and then there may be a way that I can actually put the auction house into the DAO itself. I'm not sure
So,
all the
you and I didn't mean this is just kind of rolling into it. A lot of my interviews are just really they're very free. It's as it comes, and I think this is interesting. You and I, just to be a little transparent to anybody watching, are both on the Juno working group. I've been very, very like a fly on the wall recently. Well, recently for a while now. Apologies, Juno working group. You guys know it. But I just been so busy, and I just think that it's I'm just hanging out until my talents are needed. But I think it's getting to a point there. But anyway, I love the fact that you're very much still trying to work on doing something with Juno and trying to add more value with Juno because I'm doing the same thing obviously with Balance Style and whatnot. And I think Signal just messaged me earlier, guys. I'm putting names out there. I'm sorry, Signal. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there's people who have like a pure interest for nothing else to see the betterment of the chain be restored as best as possible, right? Like we all know. And again, Crypto Dungeon. I've talked to you not only in the Juno working group, but like I've said earlier, personally a few times now. And guys, I can vouch for them. I absolutely love that you guys are trying to do that and trying to incorporate what you guys are doing with your guys' game with the DAO that's on Juno. So cool, good for you guys again. I don't know who just joined us somehow, some way, but did you see that? Somebody tried to join and jumped right back out. I was like, who is this person? I have no idea who they were. Anyway, I thought maybe it was somebody that you gave it to. I was like, I don't know who this person is. Um,
is it you can't join this unless you're
Unless you get the invitation, like the link, yeah.
oh
But It's so if you gave it to somebody, I was like, it's cool with me, but I was like, how did this person get in here?
I gave it to several people, but I don't see anyone by that name.
Oh no, they
So
came in and they left real quickly, so maybe there was a
okay.
little bit of delay. But just now that I know, if you did invite anybody, guys, let me know in the chat before you guys pop up in here because I'm just gonna think that somebody trying to literally raid the dungeon, pun intended. Now.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't actually know how this worked. I thought you could just send a link so people could watch it.
Yeah. Oh no. That if you sent that link, well, that's what it is. Then if you sent that link, the same link I sent you to join here, they have access now to join. But again, I see them. They won't come on the show until I give them access entirely. But yeah, guys, if you guys got that link, that's to join. You guys are more than welcome to join if you guys want to, community members. I don't care.
Did give it to some of my partners,
Yeah.
just in case they wanted to jump in and Dungeon Master. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
really
not sure
cool.
who. Yeah,
Yeah, Raid. Indigo Mafia says Raid. Guys, I'm always open. My whole thing with the content that I've been putting out, and from the very beginning, is I've always wanted to talk to the people more than anybody else. To be honest with you, that's in the IBC or the IBC gang, and so like the more the merrier, in my humble opinion. So long as you're not trolly, I'll have to boot you if you are. But like, it's open invitation to anybody, so long as my partners and my participants are open to it too. So. Sorry about that. Dave says Juno can rise from the ashes. I believe so too. Let me ask you, Lee, what is your opinion? I think I know it, but what is your opinion about the current situation with Juno? You can speak
it's
officially
really
as
hard
a.
for me to say. I'm not. I'm actually sort of new to crypto.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been investing for a couple of years here, but I've never been at the bottom of a bear market like this before, which I'm kind of excited about because it presents a good opportunity. But
It's fun.
I got in sort of when Ethereum was climbing and Bitcoin was climbing, and maybe 3 years ago, something like that. So yeah, this is interesting, but it's an L1, and it's a smaller market cap, and those are going to be the ones that are going to be the hardest hit. But I mean, there's been a lot of drama and fighting, and I'm hoping that we can figure that out and kind of work together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think there's a lot of potential. DAO is an amazing app. I'm not that smart, and I can figure out how to create a vote, and it executes a smart contract that even I can do that. So it's very user friendly, and I'm sure it's going to get even better here.
Right, right. And
And
Indigo
there,
Mafia says, "Is Jake going to receive an allocation?" I don't see why he would. Just because it's being built on DAO doesn't mean that Jake's going to get one. But this funny. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he does get one.
it was. I mean, Stargaze and Juno were the first chains we jumped into, so that's you know, I want to do what I can, and that's sort of why we're here. So I don't want to just give up on that, and I really do think it's a lot of potential. There's no way to predict what's going to happen, but I think Reese is a great developer and
He's
leader,
a
and
killer. Reese is a killer.
yeah,
He lives very, very not to dox him, but we've said this many times before, so I'm sure he doesn't mind. But he's like right in my backyard here in Middle Tennessee. He lives real close.
oh, cool.
Yeah, matter of fact, he's hopefully still going to be attending Nashville NFT Nashville. So
Oh, that's
that's gonna
awesome.
be a killer, man. Yeah, and he's an awesome dev. It's I when he got brought on as the core member to take care of things, I was like, bro, they got a stone cold killer in that deal because I remember talking to him and his game, Craft Economy, which by the way, speaking of Juno, he also just put out a tweet earlier, and
Yeah.
got me super excited as well. I love it. Like, it's so funny. I saw some other people in the response to that. There was like, oh, Juno is nothing but like a gambling gaming chain. And I was like, and so what? Like, let that like I just don't understand. I think some people, to be honest with you, just want to be negative sometimes. Like it doesn't matter what you do, how you innovate, or what you bring to the table. Like you just can't appease everybody. You know that more than a being in your field. I'm sure you say that to everybody. Like you just can't satisfy everybody. And so
Well,
I don't know.
I-
I thought it was
we're
great.
trying to be different. I have a professional sort of reputation that I built up, and I don't want to damage that. And we're trying to build something wholesome where, yeah, I mean, it could get big and people could play to earn, but it's not the kind of thing where I saw some things like Fortis, and I got killed on that. But we're not trying to do that.
Hey,
So
I
I
just
mean, I love my current job, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
guys, and I'm gonna make a statement again on Fortius Economia. I was making videos about that as well. I actually did it. I actually made some good money off Fortius Economia, but you gotta take profits when profits are there. That's what I tell everyone. Not financial advice, but man, I got in and I was like, I couldn't take it fast enough because I was like, I don't understand any of this. I interviewed the guy. I interviewed. It wasn't the guy. It was the. It was like this. I forget his name. It was like the second in command, and I was
Eurobender
asking him.
or something was the
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
And I would ask him questions and he would straight up not make it. He wouldn't even know. And I was like,
Oh
okay,
man.
I gotta get out. I gotta get out.
I mean, I jumped in on that, and oh my god, I got hammered. But like, whatever,
Yeah.
you make some, you lose some.
Yeah. It was actually in their verbiage too. It was like, it's just an experiment. And I'm like, I gotta get out. I gotta
Yeah,
get out. But it's really fun. It's like there's some things, guys. You live and you learn. You take the nuggets of what each, even the bad things have golden nuggets that you can take from and build upon. And I absolutely love it, man. If you can actually build, like Dave is saying, gaming is perfect for Web3. Someone that just needs to crack the code to make it fun, profitable, and user friendly. Exactly taking the words out of my mouth. What I was just about to say. If you can find the small pieces that did shine brightly in like those crummy things, and really find a way to make it work, even just a smidget. I think those are the kind of things that are really going to pick up a lot of steam in the after the next having into I called the phase that we're in right now. You said you didn't experience a bear market just yet. This is an anticipation phase, especially for Bitcoin, right? Like we have three phases. We have the appreciation or bull market, as people like to term it. We have the depreciation or the bear market because everybody likes to label things with animals, and then we have an anticipation phase, which is the lead up to the halving, right? Like right around a year or so is basically when things start getting interesting, especially now, like they say, this time is different. This time seems very different with what's happening with regulation and whatnot, but it's still an anticipation phase. And this is, if you go and look at the charts, matter of fact, I don't want to stray too far off of it, but I think it's really relevant to what you're building and where we are in the greater scheme of things. Let me actually bring this up real quickly and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. Ooh. All right, here we go. I think I got it here. Oh, wait, let me do something with it here. It's a little bit easier. Good old charting. I got away from doing this a lot. Let me share with you guys this. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so this is the monthly Bitcoin chart. And of course, these vertical lines are the halvings, right? The previous halvings in the past. This is our anticipated halving date, which is right around April-ish of 2024. Um, Again, kind of illustrating right here, we can only go by what we've done in the past. Things don't necessarily have to repeat themselves, but they sure as heck do come close to rhyming usually. Uh, if it breaks pattern this time, if it breaks its habits this go around, that would be completely amazing. But if you look at it in the past, right, we have appreciation phase, depreciation phase, anticipation phase, and we're in this anticipation phase here that looks very similar to what we did right here in the last anticipation phase of the halving, and we had a very massive. And I think people need to be, in my humble opinion, need to be ready for this. And I consider myself more of a fundamentalist than anything else. But this was pretty brutal from this top. I'm just going to eyeball it on the monthly here, which is going to be kind of dangerous.
Oh
But
yeah.
from there to the bottom here, that's a in the anticipation phase, guys. That's a 72% drop from where we topped out at, right? Like let's just say, for conversation's sake, right, and just to prepare people watching this, let's just say this was the top of that little rally that we had, and then we're gonna drop somewhere close to that. Like just think about it. Even if we drop kind of close to like we did before, not necessarily back down to the lows of when we crossed between the bear and anticipation phase like we had here, but if we just drop from the high here back down close to the lows again here, that's 50 oddish percent, right? I don't think I honestly I don't know. I can't call anything, but I don't think necessarily we are going to touch exactly the bottom of the past. We might, and if so, I'm still not worried. But I think that what we're going to do more than likely than not is kind of close to rhyming what we did in the past year. And so I just want people to be prepared for that. But if you're building stuff during this time, anything of like with true genuine effort and then with substance and whatnot for people to kind of pull off the bone. Let me just show you guys the proof. It's not my opinion. It's the opinions of the chart, right? If you built something here, you front ran that bull market, that appreciation phase, that big rallies in the past, no matter what. And so people like yourself, people like that are in the Juno network, and more. We're just it's such an easy thing to kind of portray and talk about because we're both in the Juno working group as well. But people that are in the Juno working group, in the Juno ecosystem, that are still trying to build things, maybe in the Cosmos ecosystem, still trying to produce things that might bring true value to the people, true entertainment and value. Like, good for you guys, because I think right now is the best time to build. People use that analogy, like that saying all the time, like the bear markets are the best time to build. It truly is. Not just because it cuts out all the noise and you can focus, but because the value and the trajectory of that said value. Sorry, my pet bulls are going absolutely crazy upstairs, and they sound like monsters. Can you hear that? Well, hold
No,
on one second. Hold on. I have two red-nosed pit bulls, and apparently they got loose. 1 second, fam. 1 second. Come here. Come here. Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm not joking. I got 100-pound pit bulls, and they were tearing up the house. Tearing up the house. Apologies, apologies, apologies. Who? It's like wrestling grown people, man. Uh, where was I? Speaking about building in the bear market, I think you guys are doing a great job. I think you guys are spot on and doing it at the right time. And I want to encourage you guys: don't stop, man. Don't stop doing what you guys are doing, whether it's with your validating, which I know it goes hand in hand with the game and stuff like that. But just don't stop, dude.
Mhm. We don't really need the revenue at this point, so we can build in the bull, which is we're very lucky to be able to do that. And I do think
Ooh.
you're right about a year from now, but it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. We're in it long haul
Mhm.
anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me
Mhm.
the next year or two.
Yeah, and by the way, that's a great I guess to say discloses, right? And it's not financial advice. I don't know, guys. That's just my humble opinion. It could go to hell in a handbasket really quickly. Nobody knows, right? Don't have a crystal
Mhm.
ball, not a vagabond, not a rogue. Just giving you guys my opinion about it. This Dave said 2021 Minecraft generated 380 million in revenue. 110 million accounted for mobile revenue. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with chat here. He didn't know. He didn't know. Wait. What did Mafia say? He didn't know he was actually being lured to text TA dungeon. No. I didn't mean to go into any kind of TA or nothing like that. But I just kind of want to stress that I think building right now is a very smart thing to do for people that are able to build. You're in a very professional setting outside of crypto. I've shared with you many times, and everybody else. You guys all know I have a very similar situation to where my wife and I own a medical practice as well. So like, what you said earlier really did resonate with me, and like, your name and your reputation is all I have for and I know you fully understand that. Like, and I'm not jeopardizing that for anybody with what I'm doing here in crypto. So again, that really, when you said that earlier, that really resonated with me as well. So nice. But you said your partners are also doctors as well? or one of them
One
is.
one partner is a child psychiatrist, yeah,
Nice,
and the other one's a software engineer.
nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. I wish we could have got them on the show as well.
Yeah, probably someone tried to log in. I don't know who it was, but yeah.
Well, next time we'll definitely get them on the show. Well, let me
I didn't know how this thing worked actually. First time using it.
it's
It's pretty cool.
Joe. Cosmos you know Joe? He's the one that first
Yeah.
introduced me to this. I know him and Don use this a lot apparently, and I used to use just OBS because Twitch streamer and stuff like that. But he got me hooked on it, and I'm like, oh, it's just so easy. Um,
I'm
anyway,
still trying to figure out Don Kryptonium. I just mentally, like I'm trying to figure out how he works, and
what happened to him?
he's an interesting guy.
I feel like I don't see him very often anymore. I said, well, let me actually check. I'm gonna check right now, actually. Uh,
Yeah, he still tweets.
yeah, but his videos, I mean, I haven't seen many videos pop out. Like he used to do them like once or twice a day, I feel like.
Yeah, he's in the active set for Cosmos.
Oh yeah, he
It's
definitely is. He definitely is. I'm gonna check. Hold on. I really enjoy Don. Don and I are we've talked many times before. Um, but yeah, his last video that I see was 6 days ago. I hope you're okay, man. I was kind of thinking that earlier. It's funny that you brought that up. I was thinking earlier. I was like, I haven't heard or seen anything from Don in a while. But yeah, he's a very interesting fellow. I've heard people tell me that it's just an act, and I've heard other people say no, it's the same guy. But I,
I'm still wondering. Yeah, I like to figure people out, and I'm just kind of like, well, okay,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's a
that's your
mystery.
job. You tell me who is. You're the one that's supposed to
I
know.
don't know. I'm not going to speculate. Yeah, he's funny though.
Yeah, he is. There's a lot of truth behind his character. It comes across as
Hmm.
very raw sometimes, but there is a lot of truth to his character. And um, I don't know. Again, like you said, I don't want to speculate or put words, or assume anything. But I don't know if he did it on purpose or just kind of fell into place the way that it felt. But it definitely helped him get bumped up in a lot of those active sets. So it was very beneficial, man. Um,
Yeah,
let me ask you something with your fight in the Atom lot. Did you guys ever apply for the delegations for the validators?
we missed the last one, so we jumped in after that. We're going to try to apply for this one. But I have to look at all the criteria and everything. I'm hoping we can qualify for it.
Yeah, yeah. What's the next round, or when's the next one open up?
I think it's quarterly, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen anything on their Discord yet.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't probably say
I
that.
know we would definitely need to do that. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say that because like this is I'm just speaking for me. Anybody that's watching later, but ICF, come on, you guys were like so good for a hot second about releasing like information about things, and then all of a sudden it kind of went radio silence again. I liked it a lot better when you guys were a lot more vocal. In
When
forthcoming
did we go radio silent? I'm like always on
on
there.
I on the I on the from the ICF.
Oh yeah. Okay, I
No,
see what
yeah,
you're
yeah, no,
saying.
the
I thought
ICF
you
and
meant
the
from us
no,
on. Yeah.
not you. You guys are always on there. I'm talking about the ICF, and again, I didn't want to ruin anything if you guys are going to apply or whatnot for the delegations program, but they were so good, when everybody was on them about like releasing transparencies and like how everything is going, and they're like, lo and behold, nobody even talks about it anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah. I don't really know how it works. I mean, I've met a couple people in different chains that are devs and talked to them, but like I'm really not clued into the inside workings of the different chains, and
yeah.
I haven't really gotten into that yet.
Well, I hope you guys do apply for it sooner rather than later, from what I understand, so that
Yeah,
you guys can get your foot in the door. And then when it does open up, I hope you guys are well deserving of it. That's why you guys should definitely get.
it 100% grassroots at this point. So really didn't know anyone, and I'm not in the crypto world really. I just kind of got into it, and
Mhm.
I get obsessed with things, and just sort of started loving what this was, and I always wanted to build something from the ground up with my friends. That's fun, and the company is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. We're building games and we're entertaining people, and it should be awesome. And some what we're planning on is our validator revenue is going into the gaming DAO, and so is our NFT commissions. So the goal is to fund that DAO and to get it to be the vehicle that is going to grow, the whole project,
Hmm.
and the validating and the game sort of feed into each other. Because if our game grows and we get a lot of players, probably we're going to get stakers, and they're going to be putting their delegation into us, and then they're getting that commission back into their DAO token.
Yeah.
So it's not really an airdrop. It's just sort of they're helping to fund the company by choosing
Do
us.
you guys have or will you guys have, I don't want to say a white paper, but do you guys have a paper for people later on so that they can read like how the whole flow is going to
Mhm.
go? Is it available right now or no?
We have a light paper. I mean, it's not hugely detailed. I haven't released all of the tokenomics for the Dungeon Coin, but I can tell you that 7.5% of the supply went to founders, 2.5% each. We're giving the Dungeon Master 2.5%, and then the rest is basically going towards community pool and everything else that we're going to be doing.
Do
So,
you guys have, as far as like your guys' allocations, do you guys have
mhm.
like vesting schedules or like a cliff or like a timetable or something like that that people should be aware of?
Yeah, we're gonna have to vote that into the DAO
Okay.
so that yeah, I still have to get all the members in there, and then we have to execute that so that when we launch the game, that's in there. So we can't do anything crazy, and I don't want anyone dumping.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think that's
nice.
good.
That's good though. That's,
Yeah.
definitely a lot different than what a lot of people are used to right now. Like you're telling everybody you can actually vote on how that might actually look. Like that's
Mhm.
awesome. It's kind of like a lot. I want to say it's kind of like it has nothing to do, but it's the same vision of allowing people to participate is like what we're trying to do with balance style, like the multi-sig. I just put out something not too long ago, right before our interview actually, about how soon that we are going to be looking for qualified, passionate, active individuals to be part that are from the community that are nominated and whatnot. I should say that and be very, very clear about that as well. You have to be nominated, voted in um, from your peers that are hopefully willing to be on the multi sig, so that we can it really build from the ground up. And I think it when you do that, when you form whatever you form, be it a game or be it like we're doing with balance, like that's just so much more viable for long-term sustainability than doing things the way that people have been doing them thus far. And so it might take a little longer. It's a little bit more grinding, and it's a lot more tedious, admittingly, at times to like do it that way. But I think it's the better way. I really do think it's the better way. So good for you guys, man.
What do you think about what's happening with Window right now
Oh, man.
in Juno? Yeah.
Uh, well, I won't pull any punches. I've been very critical in my own head about Win for a long time. I was very, very critical when it was first doing what it was doing, and everybody had its attention with everybody on social media when they were launching and acquiring those raw tokens and whatnot. I was not a fan about how that was happening, and I definitely wasn't a fan. I'm still not a fan of what Ethan has done with Confio and whatnot, and basically it's not a good look. Like you can't come out, launch, win, say, be who you are, the grandfather of Cosmwasm, the person that launches win, say all these things, then say to everybody that your business, who supplies public goods, is basically running at a negative, and then asking the community pools throughout the Cosmos ecosystem to prop you up and then dip out on everybody, because that's basically what Ethan has just told everybody is like, hey, I'm taking a vacation of sorts. And it's like, what happened to Win? What happened to Cosmo? What happened to all this stuff that you just literally took from everybody and you just dipped out?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That's how I feel. Like I don't know how else to say it. It feels pretty shitty.
I'm hoping, because I'm in there.
Yeah. Oh no, a lot of people are. I
I get
know.
lucky with these things, I guess, but yeah. Like, I'm just hoping that, they're still doing stuff there in the background,
Yeah.
but the Discord's not really running. And
Well, it's not, to be very fair, it's not just wind. I don't want to say I'm a high critic. It's easy to be a Sunday afternoon critic, right? Or whatnot. But I've been this way for a long time, so I guess I can kind of say that. But it's not just Win and whatnot. It's a lot of them throughout the Cosmos ecosystem. You look at Evmos, and I've been saying this for a lot. Evmos and Secret. For Secret, not so much because Secret does they do spaces, they do um and they have an effort, but you like the bees of your beehive need to be buzzing. There needs to be activity, and there needs to be forward facing engagement with the community from the core of whatever team you have, right? Evmos, just until recently, and with the few tweets that I've seen with Evmos 2.0 and
Yeah.
all this other stuff, like has been just basically dead. And that's not like it doesn't make anybody feel good when you see the token price just dipping and nothing. Like it's easy for me, but people refute this. Nothing being built, but they're like everything's we're working behind the scenes. I'm like, well, nobody knows that, And so like you're telling me something, they're still working with Mint. You could have fooled me because nobody knows. Like you're not out there telling anybody that.
I mean, Juno, I do think they're building a lot, and
Mhm.
I think they could do a better job. I mean, the Juno Communications now, they're doing a pretty good job, but like,
I'll be
I
honest
think
with you.
that,
I'm very happy with the
yeah,
Geno community. I was a kind of like a skeptic about it, about the Geno comms DAO and stuff like that earlier on.
mm,
I think for valid reasons, a lot of people may have had the same similar thing as me, but I agree with you. I think Geno's doing probably one of the better jobs in comparison to the vast majority that's out there in the Cosmos ecosystem when it comes to putting out content, letting people know. I mean, that's kind of biased because we're on the Juno working group too, right? So like we know that there's
true.
efforts being made,
Mhm.
but like they are the comms style is doing their things that we already talked about. Reese being a beast. If you look within the ecosystem, you got Dow Dow. It doesn't matter how you feel about Jake, like he's working. Dow Dow works like a charm. Like it is what it is, right? Like there's a lot of bees still in that beehive, still buzzing in comparison to like like I'm just gonna say it, like like oh gosh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to, but you guys can guess. I don't want to because I don't want these people that I'm cool with to feel like I'm, coming down on them or whatnot. But you guys get my drift. Like you guys need to be a little bit more proactive with what's happening, if anything is happening. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still very hopeful for Gino. Timmy and I were, I think you were actually in the space for a little while. Timmy and I were talking about it today about like the evaluation of where Gino is in comparison to where it probably should be. Uh,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I said earlier, I said maybe like, 50, I think I said 55, like 60 to 70 cents or something like that. He was saying somewhere around $1 for what's happening within the Juno ecosystem. And, regardless if it's 60 to $1, it's somewhere within there. And I think that's actually fair for what's happening within Juno. Like I definitely, look at what you guys got going on with your DAO and stuff like that. There's so many things that could possibly be happening for Juno balanced DAO. And Reese with his Minecraft stuff and everything that's been happening. Like I really do think that there's a lot of potential still there. We just got to
I
find a way to
just
monetize it. That's all.
crypto has this, unsustainable growth. You get so big that, everyone's going to sell off and it just crashes. And I'd rather have more sustainable growth.
Mhm.
And that's why we're sort of, when we're going to launch the game, hoping to launch it right around NFT Nashville. Cause I feel
That'll be
like
dope.
when we're going to be launching, we're going to finish all the NFTs, hopefully mint out very quickly. So I don't plan on having a cost that high. I want everyone to get excited about it and start trading and then get into the game. But we're going to have several players play the first round and then we're going to open it up as we go.
How
So
many
I don't
NFTs
want
do you guys plan on having?
close to 1,000.
1,000 of them. Okay. Can you give us
Close. Yeah. I mean,
a ballpark of like what you're thinking the price might be for mint?
I'm still thinking about that. We're going to list it on Stargaze and the price of stars is pretty cheap right now, but I don't know. I mean, I was thinking somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 at the most. And that's
Stars,
for a
right?
private role-playing membership to an exclusive gaming club. And
Are you talking about USD value or stars?
stars.
Okay, okay. Just gotta be sure.
That's like I don't know what is that, $40? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that was what is stars right now. Actually, I don't even know. But
I
no,
don't
that's
even
not
yeah.
bad. That's not bad at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um,
Mhm.
I did Maneki Cosmos and Maneki Neko. Um, I'm of the mindset like don't devalue quality, even if it's just your opinion of quality, right? You know what you're producing, you know what you're building, and you know the vision of it. Just because the landscape, and I mean, there is some adjustments that you have to make per the landscape and what's happening out there, whatnot. But I don't think $40 for what you guys are presenting is a bad thing at all per NFT. Even if it's just like $30 to $40, whatever the range is that you guys
It
are
might
looking to
even be
do.
cheaper. I don't, you know,
Yeah,
it's not important to me what the mint, I just want it minted out. I want people excited about it. And then
right.
I want people swapping their characters because, you may get a character that you like and you keep it and you want to jump into the game, but everyone likes their favorite character. And that is what you're playing when you get in. So
Right.
we're
Well,
going
and
to
and
have,
then you have that argument. You have that thing though. You don't want to price it too low. You don't want to price it too high. You want to kind of
Mhm.
go with what's happening on the platform as well. But if you look at that's what I was trying to get at. If you look at what's happening on the platform, like I don't think you should. You definitely don't want to sell it for a $5. Like
No,
what everybody else is doing. So anyway, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. But whatever it is, I'm definitely going to mint a few. Are you guys going to be? Is anybody going to be at? I know you guys have a
we're all going.
sponsor. Cool, nice,
We're all
awesome.
going. I'm trying to decide if we're going to drive down because it's 9 or 10 hour drive. But like, I think if we do that, then we can bring stuff with us.
Mhm.
Uh, for our, if we set up a booth, and
Bring some merch.
our dungeon
Bring some
master actually
merch.
lives in Tennessee, so he's going to meet us in Nashville.
Oh, really? Is it
Yeah,
obviously not in Nashville or not in Middle Tennessee? Is it another part? You don't have to dock somewhere or anything like that, but
no, he just moved actually, so he's not in Nashville. I'm not sure. I have to talk to him, but like he just moved down there like a week or two ago,
oh, nice.
and I
Welcome.
had no idea that. But like, I actually didn't even know he was into crypto. I started talking to him. I found him on a site, and I was just sort of searching through everyone looking for something very specific because
Yeah.
I needed someone who could run a server with multiple people playing at once. And
Hmm.
this guy is already doing that. He's got a server where he's got 70 some people that are playing all in the same world. So he's just kind of perfect for this. And when you play with him, we did what's called a one shot. And I don't like those because then you have a character, but you're just playing one adventure and then you're done and you don't get to keep that character. And it's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's like what do you call that? Like the Brad Pitt, in The Friend on the airplane with what is that movie? Single serving,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you never, and then you never talk again. So,
Let me
but
let
like,
me add, go ahead.
yeah, you're
Go ahead.
drawn into the story. I mean, like, it's a 4 hour game, and we do have this 3D graphical interface. It's really cool looking. Eventually, it's actually, I think it can do virtual reality as well. So you can actually first person from your character, see your party,
Oh, wow.
see the map and the dungeon. So it has a lot of potential. It's already been developed, so we don't need to do anything with it. We just have to add Storybot to our DAO so we can authenticate the NFTs. And then when people come in, we know, okay, that you're the holder of this.
I don't
So
think
it's
I was
really
gonna say
easy in
something,
terms of
but I don't think
software.
that that
And
would actually work because you guys are already building your own. No, I was thinking this would be so cool. Um, because I just did an interview with Passage and Strange Cloud and Passage, their their blockchain. I'm not talking about Strange Cloud, but like their Passage platform, like would be playing a game like that would be mind blowing. Or even still hosting it on yours, but somehow finding a way to interact with it as well, or like partner up or find some kind of like symmetry or
they're
overlap.
building an MMO, aren't they?
Yeah, they have the Strange Cloud MMO, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
like doing stuff like D&D style through the Passage streaming platform would be amazing to do a game like that as well. I gotta think of like if there would be if that would be possible or if I'm just like
My concern with that is, the Discord's ours, so we can control that and
mhm.
it has everything we need. But if we're using someone else's platform, I don't really know anything about how that would integrate. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
something we could look at. Yeah.
But yeah, no, well, I don't, and that's what I was saying earlier. I don't want to kind of like drive. Obviously, you guys already have your own and stuff like that. But I was just thinking that would be so cool. I'm always looking for ways to collab with the other side, because I just really do think like that's the way to mass adoption, right? Like that's the usually the way to show and shine the true strength of any project. It was when you can
Mhm.
kind of like cross over into another one. I love crossovers. I'm a big,
I
like I
would I
said,
would definitely talk to them. I don't know any of those guys, so
yeah, they're fantastic.
yeah.
Like I said, they're a fantastic team as well.
Mhm,
But no, I was going to ask you earlier, and then of course you got the answer out before I even asked it. How long are typical
mhm.
games? You said about 4 hour games.
Yep. So
Okay,
4
cool.
hours, usually 4 players per game. And we're still ironing out all the details of the rules, but we're using probably 5th edition Dungeons& and Dragons rules, but we're not using any of their material in terms of their campaigns or anything like that. This is all homebrewed and built, and really, it's not anything that anyone can get
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
can use and cheat. So there is no way to game the system. You can't pay money to get ahead. So there's no like, oh, I'm going to get this item and I'm going to put my own cash into there. I'm going to get ahead of everyone else. So like one rich guy can win.
yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be very fair system, but you can earn in the game and then you can cash out. So the economy is really one way and it's just out, but it generates as people play.
Yeah.
More wealth gets built in through the gameplay.
Okay, so like it incentivized participation. I think that's like the new thing now, right? Like I don't know if anybody's doing this on purpose, but let's like that proof of participation kind of narrative. People are finding a way to like integrate that in everything that they're doing, whether it's like DeFi integrations and stuff like that, or just like whatever. I was speaking with Jay. I probably shouldn't say this about certain things, and like that's kind of their thing too, right? It's like a proof of participation. But yeah, that's interesting, man. Um, I know we've been rambling for a little while now. I've been trying my best because I can definitely go on and on and on for hours at a time. But for the sake of everybody's attention span and your own, I know it's been a long time. Is there anything before we shut this down that you would like to reiterate or maybe tell to the people that have been watching or maybe will watch later on about you guys as far as a validator set and or your game or NFT launch?
The game is going to be out around NFT Nashville. I mean, it's already built, so we just have to mint out the NFT collection. We're still doing the artwork with that. But the main thing that we have to do is we have to stay in the active set for Cosmos. Because if we can become profitable and we can start funding the gaming DAO, it just accelerates the progress that everyone else is going to get when they're playing. And it just builds value to the game. So I'm hoping that we can get our name out there and people can throw us delegations. And right now we're sitting at 1%, but we're going to raise that to get into sync with the rest of the active set. So it's not a permanent thing, but
Yeah,
yeah,
just trying to
could use
just
all the
trying
help
to.
we can get.
So are you guys? I know you guys said this earlier, but you guys are sitting at 1%, and you guys just rolling it back into the validator so that it can sustain itself until the time is that you're kind of like worked up a little bit more. Is it some goes to the game funding and some goes back into the validator? How's that
I,
working?
I I would tell you that we're probably not even break even. We're close.
Mhm.
But once we're profitable, then half of our profits are going to go into the gaming DAO. So there will be a point where that accelerates and just the gaming DAO has a lot more value.
Yeah, and
So
then that
that the whole company is the gaming DAO, but we do have a separate LLC for the validator because we have to pay taxes in the US and all that,
right. Yeah.
which is a nightmare.
Good for you guys too. Yeah, you know what? Not to go on another little rant. You know how many people I've talked to that run validators does on any chain and they don't even have an LLC incorporated? I'm like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? What are you
that's
doing?
a that's a
That's
bad
a
idea. We're
that's
actually
a
we
no-no.
got trade.
Yeah.
I applied for trademark. So we got that going. Our logo is going to be trademarked, and
Good for you
hopefully,
guys.
yeah.
Good for you guys. That was one of the first
Because
things
there's a
I
bunch of
did.
people with our name out there, but they never went for the trademark, so it's ours.
Yeah, well, IBC Gang LLC. So if you
Yeah.
you said you got into it because you were watching my show, so it's been a while. I used to talk about it quite. Like, it's just it blows my mind how people don't actually treat these things as like actual businesses in this space. It's just and it's concerning. So yeah, guys, support support the little guys if you don't mind me saying that. Support the little guys that deserve it. Help them get up into the active set where they belong, away from the floor that is lava, that is always looming. These guys have been marching hard, beating their drum, doing good in the ecosystem, trying to push a narrative forward, guys, and they could really use your guys' support. I know I would really appreciate it if you guys, and I have, I've allocated some of my own, and I'll keep taking some of my rewards and I'll keep staking it to you guys until hopefully I see you guys I would say until I will still stake with you guys, but until you guys get further and further away from that floor that is ever so rising, support Crypto Dungeon, guys. At least with some of your delegations, just for decentralization stake. You know, it's smart. It's smart to not put all your eggs in one basket. Um, but yeah, guys, check them out with their NFTs. That's going to be soon on Stargaze, which again we're thinking right around November-ish, which is the same time NFT Nashville. NFT Nashville, guys, November 4th. Details coming out real soon. Tickets being available real soon as well. Super excited for you guys, man. Very, very excited for you guys.
I appreciate you letting me on here, and I it's kind of interesting because I just a couple years ago I was watching your show, and yeah, it's
Now you're
weird
on
that we're
it.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now you're on it, man. I would love to have again you anytime that you guys want to talk about anything, or like maybe if you guys have any kind of updates, maybe you don't want to do a show, or some of the other members of your team might want to come on a space or something like that. Always welcome. Just holler at me, man. I'm always up to doing a space with you guys. I think you guys are fantastic, and you guys are exactly the kind of people that we need, not just in the Cosmos Hub validator lineup, but throughout the greater Cosmos ecosystem, man. I really do appreciate you guys.
thank you.
Yeah, right on. Well, I'll let you have
Yeah,
some rest, and we'll let the people carry on, man.
yeah. Well, I can't wait to actually meet you in person in November. So I'm glad you're doing this.
Likewise, likewise. Cool,
I
man.
hope
Well,
it's
I'll talk.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like it's going to be that way. But anyway, man, I'll let you get on with your night. I hope you have a good night.
you too.